guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Now, this is my end of November update. And as you can see, this is a thermometer in my conservatory and it's just above 5 degrees there, 6 degrees Celsius, and it's freezing, guys. This is the 30th of November and we've had such cold couple of weeks here. It's been absolutely freezing and I'm really lucky that I brought all the plants in just in time. I have a little heater over there that I do have to come on in the middle of the night, which I don't like to do because that's one of the reasons why I bring the plants into the house, because the greenhouse is just too costly to have the heat on all the time. But it's been so cold here in Ireland the past 10 days that I've had to have the heater come on overnight because it's dropped below zero, and it would drop below zero in this conservatory, believe me, because it is all glass. I do show a little bit out there. You can see all the frost, guys. It's absolutely blinking freezing. Look. But it's 16 here and about -3 outside. So they're doing okay. As I said before, cacti and succulents are okay to overwinter at minimum of 6 to 7 C. So they're doing okay. Anyway, enough waffle. I'll go and tell you what's happening on the update. Now, a lot of you may have seen my overwintering video where I brought all the plants in. So they're all in from the greenhouse now. And I'm starting off with the conservatory. I'll just show you down the bottom. There's not a lot going on because obviously now it's nearly winter and all the flowering is sort of out the way. I've had a few come up in bud still. This one here, my Cactus winterii, is coming up into bud, which is lovely. And I think of the name winterii. It flowers in the spring and summer, but it's forming another flower for me there, so that's great to see. I've got my Euphorbia obesus. They're still flowering away, which is really great. You might see my partner Sean in the background there. He's doing things to his camera. And show you what else is going on. Got a few of my sedums. They're sort of actively growing still a bit this time of year. I've got my other plant stand here. All doing well. As I say, the majority of the cacti and succulents now are in their winter dormancy, so there's not a lot going on. I've got a few of my succulents that are still growing at this time of year, so I keep them lightly watered. But other than that, the rest of these plants now are all kept completely dry until the springtime, until at least probably the end of March, April, when I start watering them again. My lovely Crassula jade plant, a bit disappointed because this time last year she was in bud, but she's not budding for me this year. I don't know why. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get plants that will flower and then they just don't flower, even though you're doing exactly the same things. But I love it when she does flower for me. She puts on a lovely display, but she's still beautiful anyway. And I've got my lovely big Aenium there. She's really doing well. Lovely big beautiful heads on her there. Look, she's gorgeous. And I've got my carnivorous plants. Now, this time of year, they also have a dormancy. So although I still keep them watered with rainwater, I don't keep them sitting in water this time of year. I just water them every day with the rainwater, so they're kept moist. And as you can see, they're all starting to die back now. And they're kept, as I say, 6 to 7 C in here, so they're not continuing to grow. I'm not sure, I mean, a lot of people say with the carnivores to keep them really cold, but I think that's personally cold enough at the moment. If I put them in the greenhouse, they'd certainly die of frostbite, I think, even though they can take cold temperatures. A few more little cuttings there. These are a few little sea sedums that I got from the coast. They're gorgeous. And everything else is doing pretty good. And then I'll just take you over here. My big, tall, trichocereus type of cacti and my big Pachycereus bringlei that's as tall as me. It's huge. And my big Opuntia Brasiliensis. Look at the height of that, guys. Doing really well. And it's got, did you show you at the top? It's got a fruit pod, which I'm really pleased. So I'm going to have seed from that. So that's really good news. As you can see, it's a big giant. And a few more things in the window. And I'll take you over to the plant stand. My other Opuntia here, my stricta, that's got a seed pod on it, which is exciting. And a few of my little babies, all my cuttings and everything there. Some of my Echeverias. And some of the big cacti. Take you round. And all there. So there's nothing really happening. No flowers or buds at this time of year, but I'm just showing you what's going on. And so far so good in here. And I'm going to take you into the dining room. Now this is the dining room where I've got a lot of my aloes and the agaves on the table here. They're all overwintering. My big Opuntia there also overwintering. And some more Opuntias here, also overwintering in there too. And then I'm going to take you into the office. Yeah, I nearly forgot. I always forget these plants as well. I know they're not cacti succulents, but I can't forget them. These are my big spider plants. And my lovely Kalanchoe Tessa. She's doing really well there. She's got loads of new growth on her. And my other big spider plant with loads of babies. Now I'm going to take you into the office. Now, here I'm in the office and I've got all the seedlings there growing really well. I've got my little dragon fruits that I grew from seed. They're getting bigger by the minute. They're doing really well for this time of year. My little Opuntia humifusers, they're still growing well. A selection of other seedlings here. And my growing cactus from seed competition ones. These are my Camassera silvestri seeds, and I'm going to do another proper update on these in a few days time, so stay tuned. So I won't go into detail on them at the moment because I haven't done an update on the seed growing competition for a long time. And some Ripsalis seeds there, and my other dragon fruit plant, some more little seedlings, more seedlings there, my Piniocereus gregii seedlings, and these here guys. Now, these are Ocotillos that my fantastic friend Keith, who lives in Arizona, grew them around 1968, has gifted me. And I've done a separate video of an unboxing of these and also a repotting video of these that I'm still going to edit and get up online. So watch out for future video on these coming in the next few days, guys. But Keith is so generous. Thank you, Keith. And if you're not familiar with Keith's channel, you must check him out. He has an amazing cactus channel. He's got some brilliant cactus grafting videos on there too. He grows really rare and unusual cacti. And he's blessed to be living in Arizona. So links up above to his channel, Groovyman68. You must go over and subscribe. And these are some of my other ones. And the brilliant news is these are one of my Easter cacti. And in the spring, I cross-pollinated it. And it's actually got seed pods that are doing really well at the moment. They're getting bigger. So there's going to be seed coming from the Easter cacti, which is really exciting. And they're doing all my Christmas cactus cuttings as well, flourishing. This is my Pinguicula Latina, still flowering. It's been flowering for absolutely weeks. This is a beauty that I bought from Urban Plant Life here in Dublin. Must be about 2 months ago now, and it's just been flowering non-stop. And I'm going to show you the big beauty in a minute. But here, down here, I've got my, you take them underneath the table. I've got plants everywhere, guys. These are my Venus Flytrap seedlings, and they're growing really well. I've had a few more germinate, believe it or not, months after I sowed them. And again, I'm going to do a separate video on them in the next few days because I'll be able to get the macro on the camera and go into a bit more detail on them. So stay tuned for an update on them. And this is my big Christmas cactus, or I should say officially a Thanksgiving cactus because of the leaves. And this was in beautiful flower a few weeks ago. I made a video on it. If you haven't seen it, check the video up above. It's beautiful when it's flowering. And the amazing thing is I had to go pollinating some of the flowers myself. And I've got seed pods forming. 5 seed pods. Look at that, guys. I'll just even get close. Big seed pods forming. Absolutely brilliant news. So exciting. So I'm going to have seed from her. And this is actually one of the Christmas cacti. So it's actually a baby one from the big one there that I actually pollinated, and I got a lovely seed pod there. And this has took a year to form, believe it or not. And it's still not ready to harvest yet. It's not coming off that easy. So it'll be another few more weeks before I'm able to harvest the seed. So that took a whole year. Some cactus seeds only take... some cactus fruit only takes a few weeks to form and get seed. But with these, it can take up to a year or longer. And this is the real beauty, guys. I have a few more cuttings down here. And this I have to show you. This is my mother of thousands, my Kalanchoe degretrimonium. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's in flower bud. And it's got loads of buds, and this is going to be absolutely incredible when she flowers, because the flowers on them are beautiful. They're like beautiful bells. And I did have a Mother of Thousands flower a couple of years ago, and this is another one that's coming into bud, so watch out for future video when she flowers. It's going to be spectacular. And believe it or not, she's actually 4 foot high. She's not that much smaller than me, so she is just remarkable. And with all her beautiful little babies all on the leaves. Oh, she's gorgeous. And this is my little baby Sawaru. This was also a gift from Keith. So thank you, Keith. It's doing really well. And my other Mother of Thousands, the Kalanchoe tubiflora. This is a different one with the leaves. They're more thinner. And the little babies all around the edges at the very ends rather than at the edges. Isn't that beautiful, guys? So that's the update in here. Then I'm going to take you into the spare room with all the plant tables. Now guys, this is the spare room, and if you watched the video I did the other week, I think it was only last week or so, where I brought all the plants in from the greenhouse, and I was lucky enough to find these spools actually being recycled, and I got these from one of the dumpster bins, as they call them, Skip, and they make brilliant tables. So as you can see, the plants are getting plenty of sunshine here. This room here is just attached to the conservatory, and it gets sun practically all day. So it's a lovely room to overwinter these plants in. And again, not a lot happening as such, because obviously a lot of the plants are dying down. I've got my Crassula, as I nicknamed the, I think it's called the Crassula baby's necklace. And it has beautiful little flower buds on it. So I'm going to get some beautiful flowers off this beauty in a few weeks, which is really wonderful. And I've also got my really wacky, this is called a testudinaria plant. And it's actually like a cordiciform. And it's nicknamed the elephant's foot. And what happens is it actually forms like a vine, which it's doing at the moment, and then it dies back. This is the old growth, and then it goes sort of dormant for a few months, usually late summer, and then during the late fall, early winter, it forms a new growth. So that's coming into growth again. As I say, not all succulents are sort of summer growers. Some actually grow during the winter, and that's why you can't, when it comes to watering, you can't just say all cacti and succulents need to be kept dry. It really depends on the different types that you've got, but the majority obviously of these are going to be kept dry now until the spring, except for some of the epiphytes. I'm just going to take you around. A bit difficult to sort of get into the winter as you can see, but sorry if it's a bit overexposed. The lighting in here, it's very bright. I'm just trying to do the best that I can get to get a bit of an idea of how everything's doing. A load of plants there as well. And some of the echeverias on the table. As you can see, they get plenty of light. Some more epiphyllums there. And I've got my my big epiphyllum Akamani here. She's loving that position. And I've got a bit of a patient, as I call it there. It's a cut-in, just hanging up, that I won't be repotting out till the spring, obviously, because of the time of year. And last but not least, I'm going to take you into the living room. Well, that's bright anyway. Now, this is the living room, and it's not so sunny in here. The sun usually comes through in the afternoon, which is perfect for these epiphytes. These are all my rainforest cacti, and they do really well this time of year as well, because a lot of them come into flower. This one's all in little bud all along its leaves as well. It's gorgeous. And this is my Ripsalis pilocarpa, and she's forming buds too. And she puts on an amazing display in a month or two during the winter. She's all covered in beautiful little white flowers. So it's good to see a lot of the winter growers are doing well. And this is my Ripsalis pendiflora, still got tiny little blooms. Very difficult to get the macro on them though. So do you show there's one tiny one. Actually, there's a few tiny little ones there, which are gorgeous. And then in the windowsill, got some of my Haworthias and Adromistrus. And some Camaceras. And this is my Aporocactus Malisonii. And she's making a bit of a recovery, because she wasn't too good a couple of months ago. She had like sort of like brown sort of markings on her. I thought she had like a Fusarium type of virus. But I've treated her with a fungicide, and I checked her root system out. And she seems fine. She's perking up a bit, which is good. So fingers crossed. And that's it. That's the update for the end of November, guys. And all I can say is it's blinking freezing and I wanted to get warmer, but hopefully spring will soon be here, I'm sure. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power, as always, from Ireland. Until the next video, guys. Bye!